and for we enter time sisia I'm renting book room or mumu idea only dimpen of water I was there come was enti so mu idea obi timi awo papa
awo nko akeke
e be se kan ba de ene Ghana for de enyine ho hia edwere ho hia so wo fie ni edwene wo tire ho de ye di buo ma dwono ti buo ma dwono ye di buo ma fie ye se bi akanfo se ne panu ate ho wo hunu abofra ugina simpie so a wo hunu na bone be na mpani kufuo waye wo di ne kure anti yesu kon mo atibi ko kira radio so onu ko yejuma wo hen sabrante o yejuma wo
o kira de Ashanti secondary school
brano o born saying ese yo Ghana ha Bible class in fie na aduo so ne troso nyina wo amane ti panimu anadwene da so da ho tini o waka ne na no ye ne obetimi aye ne kina e de futuo aba 20 ande kama mampani kufu onka ba ku ye oni mam aye na dan kwa kufu adna be de che Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia air contest ni party mo bia ntimi ka asem papa mfa na ho e wo bra wo bo ne edu ho adansi o wo bra wo bo ye du hia ne tie ene ye wo ye ene panika ewi ase de uwu a ne ka asem de fa ho na ati ase ye de ya ne wo ye ene ye ka ni hu na de omo so nko na NDC ni bi wo na obi nso enka asem bi e ena ni abamba ben odi mampenda na ho adanse ye no wo se kasa de wo yaade ni tire ni nti ni mu da 36 bi wo ho ma onya de oti ase babe oye friend speaker na se mo kan fa mampani da ho ene se ke ena o se me creativity bi ena commitment to any board now we consistency ono kafa na ho saa asema mampani kai nyo no nko a mampende da ka nyo no nko a na aka no Ghana ha o mpanifo bebire wo Ghana ha nyina obi edi Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ho adanse biso abone bere yi akoda akura ni se Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ye ni level of creativity was so akoda akura ni o mu so we very intelligent akoda akura ni se integrity ye akoda akura ni so brand ho ase Ghana fo nyina ni so kanipa bom jo mama nya no apamo ayi your friends say assurance MP your friends muntaka any hurry do so the campaign on promo enso omna contest fi kura o omna contest fi ni Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia no contest ya ba e bi kura kan ho nsem bi ofra from ina bobo ma no wa chese na koma so otimi kura nioma ejemu ama ekoye nim na bia wiase ko ehwa na eka wiase ne ekọ ne de yesi yeye ana wane ne nkukọ buo ni fikire ye na na mfi ya nkukọ fikire ye de bobra nkukọ ayeye me start say me ya nkukọ no mo 11 years me ya nkukọ na me bi to kramai kramai me hobby
ya de bobra na na technology ene ye nkukọ
tie
akoko no atimi
me chese akoko nkitwe ya ye ni fikire akoko nkitwe ya ni fikire
no de
etimi tie school fees ukura ro ye kwa uni bi o kosia ru ni o
koko bukura de ko
o ti ase this a obi sabre ya wiase nyina dania ye tumrikai
nkukudwi
ana woka ho asem na obi ko busa no wo chese me de me panimu ese mimpia wonten ko campaign na brantie no and then we say had them ko hu no oni atro record so ho the free say me hu no be sabri hotuma ko na aboa no na nso ma srei nyame na de na che Ghana obiya zinim obiya nim umpe na sem kura wusia na oka ne opeso ye hwe campaign ya Dr. Mamudu Bawumia koi. He is the owner of the manifesto and you be na come obi o from pages to pages idea opeso he has been very consistent with the new man manifesto numu.
Yeah,
a chese etanebo he's the owner. Yes, ya chairman say me ko kai. You be kura de ba e kura ha no he wanted to understand. He said we never ko say a chechi ma hu say be ye and he's laid all foundation for the aye be ye nyina. Ade opeso re nyina no foundation has been there. I say seven you or the friend you so to boy dey abobi. There's a pendimu ye ko busa no. Eh na na say to be nso nya dai. Ono nko na wotumi wazantemam e ka so obi ye ne ba. Unko busa say na ma me wo he. Na so wo fa unko busa be ofiri. Na bedwam otu na num tuo. Se ne ba no watete no wa ma ni din e abroche nke ba se night o hine no adopt wo nintu bibia mo ko hye nkoda na chi no ndi dim panifo atem mampani da ofiri mu jari o se baby so sharp chief nkoda nketinketi on wosi no de se sekan ye twitwa nipa na nyi bia mampani
no asset koda
obi on do akura ba nche no wuye na omo ye 31st okwa ni Medina was he for NDC people like MPP they saw too much
eti mesre yenti ase media me free se nyima mpani eda akeke no peso mdi na tamu wo mu die nyina atam asadfo ne akamfo ne asanteman wo mu die nyina atamu president udike ofri ha di enemo mampani kufo de ba ebinie no so oba bia anko wokwa ntinkoyo omunya 24 25 no one time ne wo mo nyina ma me no wo mo kwa basic education from class 1 to JSS ne free ne kwankura fa school so ma ye raising ko da mo ko school from they may take 2% to about 90% e Ghana ha health insurance or the buy e di twam asante mamu ne ehu over a fence overhead da yakwa ye nka Kumasi ring road atame se ba no betwa ewu this tete de kan ho sisi adan de kan the municipal as buy ana mfo hunu adan kwa de 13 additional district in the kan tete no man 43 amamfo hu sika yakoho ade yempuntu djuma ene nipa e form adjuma ene kurura ni bie nti me dem feel say it's an attack on us as a santeman if you say ofura aban mu o ban mu ko nyamfire no ene okujato ene nkofo bi ko hye nkofo bi achi say attack no man ntrenkran man mu okora bi attack no ntimi tu abrante no fo bitu no fo ani e de nyame chiri
Raja Ohineba if you want to fast track your death, if you want to die early as a young man, start insulting and disrespecting elderly people. It is the fastest way of committing suicide. Upeso wuntemwa sasi yedidi nfa na bu omenutia babru kwabi ekodidi yibi a wanyini sejata bewewe ho pani bi tra ho ade efre ni simo nyini di twen Yesu seda ebe wo no ena no kwenya me enmu ni so hwemu a enyini eyenhira enya yare very few people in the 70 years no ye kan na unya wia then you become a sage, a demigod, a spiritual godfather. No be ye fapim e de ma be a wo say political party say ye busua mu enti abusua bia wo beko enyini enimu bia no mo problems because nkwala ni duru ba bia e wo se pani wo mu no to o mofo ne free 70 ko 80 no eno na ye free bibi se self review wo hwehwe wa bra wo boye sɛ wo pɛ ma ne di wawu a saa mmerɛ no na woka wo wensa saa mmerɛ no na woka wo kwa akoro no ba saa mmerɛ no na woka wonum wi a saa mmerɛ no na woka wo bɔ bra pa saa mmerɛ no na woka wutimi chinkwala ni nyina to esi hɔ eti we na ekomu a no wa alert no we na ekomu no wa alert no efie wo krom ho nyina wo na wo hwehwɛ mu efia braboni wo mu wi yanwade mu ni nyina ba so you become an encyclopedia for even for marriage enti ni yanwade korekwa enti enyiri eye nhira na se unyiri na uduru wo yi a separate them for their wabeye asset for the nation your friend no the oracle of Delphi when you come see it politics obienu wa wo musanity
because as President Kufuor said clearly we share all the aspirants now or move to Franca for this year elections now. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in terms of Donibeka and say policy propositions in terms of any swadi hunu any enyuma opesa odigu akwemu should in case say Ghana 14 as no be president ne de ne kwani mu bebre eche mahama kwani mu bebre eche lanchamanten kwani bebre eche na Kwame Bedi Akon and the others. So clearly he has a superior policy and the new dimension in our country, you know, now you're very competitive as compared to the advanced economy. Sebi, or more economy is driven by digital economy or digitalization. You know. The only person I bet to Obama, now what Mama Ghana are competitive in the community of nations as far as driving an economy based on digitalization, of course, is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. The Yabebo MPP members in Abaso sympathizers and everybody. Our team believe in the vision, share the vision with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and continue supporting and campaigning across the various constituencies, polling stations. Sebeya Ghana for Betiase. Now on the 7th December, Omobere rewarded MPP with another mandate to do more, improve the free SHS, improve the one district, one factory, which I sincerely believe is by the time Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will be president, after his first 4 years, can one district, one factory. Perhaps we will be talking about one district, 5 factories, or one district, 10 factories. So Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, all the good policies that Akufo-Addo has done, they're going to be an upgrade of those policies. After 4 years under Mahmoud Bawumia, we are not going to talk about one constituency, one ambulance. We are going to be discussing one constituency, about 5 or 10 ambulances. And these are all policy interventions. If given the opportunity again, after 7 December, MP will go out to make sure that Ghana better connect more as we are now. And you share discussions now here. All the propaganda, all the negative narratives are yenuanom NDC for yenuanom a omo free yemu afafranto for no or futuro mu tugu Ghana for any nyina no you be corrected that misconceptions near ma Ghana for ehun say indeed eba amanyosem amamu any say ye chichire oman a so many factors and so look up. You don't have to be based on say the panel of free hand, the panel, the GDA to say, the panel say obetina so tenase. You have to look at so many factors. Which to me, in fact, the best candidate the MPP has ever presented is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Of course. Senior GDA or President Kufuor are not coming up with a strong economic background. In your GD or another down Kufuor, our economics background, but under the first degree level. How much more NSM know you have a difficulty with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? Practically, we're working in the various financial and banking sector within the economic territory. Our strong background in banking at the diploma level, strong background in economics at the first degree level, which of course was first class, strong economics at the second degree level, and strong economics at the APIS, the terminal level, the PhD. And I will have a doubt in his competence. Say, obetimi then, achichiri omano, na better than what his boss is even giving to us. And clearly, what the track record at to NDC over the last 8 years. Now the MPP over the last 8 years, in spite of the challenges that we have faced, we still stand tall. But you're big as we progress.
Master of Arts.
Yeah.
In ministry.
Yeah. See, you use the gospel. You use the Bible to discredit certain.
Do you believe in prophecy?
I believe in prophecy, but I don't rely on prophecy. But I mean rely on. But make sure the reason why. First of all, prophecy is subject to change. Come she be subject to change. And come she be so yes or it
comes with this responsibility.
Yes. When you say we're near fee, or momuti is or near fee, or mumusa say, since or more sorry. And come shadow doa, ne so for dear man or do say nabo. O tea and come shadow door say near the ama album. Thank I want ya. But every prophecy comes with works, and every prophecy is subject to change. So Bible.
Yeah.
Call Isaiah chapter 38.
Isaiah no kwano. I see your Bible no funny. Hey, min kun finfini ho.
Isaiah chapter 38.
And you back in kind more. Africa kunkunum.
Yeah, we are dealing with the economy. The reason why Bawumia is the best person to lead this country.
Okay.
So go to Isaiah chapter 38 verse 1 to 6.
Now but fina Isaiah no cry we impu.
Now buso kwa sorry. And any baby Isaiah.
Oh nyabutena. Okay.
Me can bro for you no actually say.
Okay.
Say
Isaiah.
Yes, Isaiah chapter 38.
Chapter 38.
Patch your eye.
Hey. Isaiah hear me. Although they can come bluff and be me na tree Bible na kasa na say hon some na video.
In relation to prophecy. Okay. Or say in those days Hezekiah was sick and near dead, and Isaiah the prophet, went to him and said to him, "Thus says the Lord, set your house in order, for you shall die and not live." Then Hezekiah turned his face towards the wall and prayed to the Lord and said, "Remember now, O Lord, I pray, how I have walked before you in truth and with a loyal heart, and have done what is good in your sight." And Hezekiah wept bitterly. And the word of the Lord came to Isaiah, saying, "Go and tell Hezekiah, that says the Lord, the God of David your father, I've heard your prayers. I have seen your tears. Surely I will add to your days 15 years.
Okay. 36 verse
38.
38. Okay. Verse
1 to 6.
1 to 6.
Well, I feel one.
I say na nanumunu. Hezekiah yare uyare na Amos ba odifo Isaiah ba nchen be kache no se Erade sini she ofie nsamanse na worebewu na wonya nkwa ena Hezekiah dane na ni kire osafo no na obo Erade mpa yese aw Erade kai sede manante wonim no kremu ne akoma edimu na manya de eye wani so na Hezekiah sun esukase ena Erade asemba Isaiah nchen se kona koka kire Hezekiah se sede Erade waja David nyankopon sieni mate wo mpaibo mahunu woni suo hwe mede mfie dunum beto wo naso na meje woni krui afri asi ahene si ahensem na mabokro yi huban
manesiwa
so up to 6 no.
So osha the first instance Isaiah the prophet, and what kind Bible a mighty prophet, Elijah, Elisha, John the Baptist, okay, and any all major prophet. Isaiah is one of them, Daniel and others, any all minor prophet. A whole major prophet. I will catch Hezekiah say, or Babu, okay, or Tia Semno, or have a counter petition to God. Make a case to God. Justify any case to God. The reason why I say Yankopon man as a son agree. So we beat him and comes to MPP Belusu. What is the measure? Ebi Yanfan say be crying Yamena catch them, which is Ebi and Yamena catch and say Yampa. But MPP as a party, you beat me, I justify our case before God. You beat me, I church him before God. Say, before 2016, na dumso a egum enyuma for ejuma. Nurses and teacher trainees allowances are Mahama etwetwem or simfa so ni so. Enkora sebi omu wie JHS. Mawo formu enibi. Entino omu ntimi ntua school so. You have about millions of people on the street. Mama see 20 years and son yetima amasa ankra na ko school. Now the 20 years e kan sa akra ni fie hu abra na we JSS school 50 years I know was saying
35.
Ombro SSO.
Yeah.
So abro so. Mama see ye niska yentimi nse ska say ye be secure enkwala ne daache. What I say? Yeah. After 20 years. MPP buy. In fact, a mama cry ran over 300 advert against the free SHS policy. But God, when you gave us the opportunity in 2016, you bought 2017, and I must stay on record. Akufo-Addo government is the only government in our history under the Fourth Republic. The first term in office. What me really are the major policies or promising the good people of Ghana. Most at times, Omoba first term in office also with the CC and Niema. So share Rawlings government take away the PNDC. Share most of the achievement that Rawlings it was the second term between 1996 and 2000. Most of the achievements are His Excellency former President Kufuor achieved from after 2004 to 2008. 2001 to 2004, Yakohepik also the CCA created a foundation to roll up his policies. Mesebae also use some years to correct the errors of President Kufuor before he can do anything. To share NDC, most Mama achievement, most of them almost started in the second term from 2012 to 2016. Even though more than Papa Bia. But Akufo-Addo buy one can say Mabeto a debt of 120 billion cedis. Baba Beto Dumso, Mabeto nurses and teacher trainees are more allowances society come. Mabeto Ababunua Omawie University Omunya Jumanya because of IMF conditionalities. In spite of those challenges, Akufo-Addo decided said the first budget that was presented to Parliament, free SHS was captured. One district, one factory was captured. Most of the major policies Akufo-Addo has showed the good people of Ghana say, Mumma Kwenya Meyeno, one train the second term. Nina rule in the first term, and most of them were presented within the first year, the first budget of the core Parliament. Social contract on the Ghana for a signing year in 2016 will make sure that Nina was implemented. And over 5 million Ghanaian children, as you speak, are school free, ebi wom, ebi university. Mahama time, NDC time, they never have that that support.
Yeah.
What I say? Yeah. You buy ambulances are near or money munina near yesen. And ambulance constituency be our ambulance. Some of them even two. Before I ever how many districts, how many factories yes, like or based on a district policy, ena Mahama timi ye ba na one just one factory be anywhere mewa after 8 years how many factories ena yetimi esi abana timi abo ankrankra mo masi across the various districts in this country which were not in existence under the Mahama.
Yeah.
You buy a doom so and I a Ghana for no 4 years. And then a power challenges about the Antise Mahama time.
Yeah.
Agenda 11 hospital. It was not under Mahama era. STEM education. We share the new school models at Educhum, Adaroma. We really up across the country. And then can you JHS there? When you JHS here and you see that you see bare 4 rooms. Have you seen the new JHS school modular under Kufado and under the leadership of Educhum Omoye for even junior high schools?
Yeah.
All these things were not under Mahama. So as a new patriotic party, it's our responsibility. Say you better argue your case. You better have a counter petition against any negative prophetic utterances against our chances as far as this year elections is concerned. The achievement at those and no more be briono maya Mahama time nini ho, Mayor's time nini ho, Rollins and Kufuor time it was not there. And we have done, and we have to make that case before God and justify why we must get another mandate to continue doing the good work that we are doing. And clearly God will listen, and the Ghanaian people also will listen and renew our mandate on 7th December. So yes, a prophecy no ubi kaya na one and obi no ma or what exclusive ownership to God.
Nobody. So me de
nobody. No one. Because Jesus Christ or say or no kra nkasa kro nim the second coming that. And Christianity is based on Christ, right?
Yeah.
The second coming kro nim da or beba. So how much more than a prophet to say authoritatively, they make kind of final. And those prophets, are they bigger than Isaiah? In terms of ranking. But Isaiah share Hezekiah and come. But Hezekiah have a counter petition to God. The entire any question because we are useful and beneficial to the cause of God. Yes, soon as a catcher Yankopon, a catcher Ghana for say, yet Timama Mama over 5 million Ghanaian children, eco school free. Mahama, a Casemon 20 years. Yet Timmy, I restore allowances to Monkwala more nurse and teacher training. Mahama Eden, if you came. Dumso ani guma juma yet Tima solve. So we have a viable, strong case, and our achievement is there. Yama Ghana for who the air, and yen this for the air catcher, air casa trouble. We go and this in the way they are on NDC, yet day. I go such a command, a Ghana for the air day. Get no mudincomo. Nanya coupons ye day, a dincomo. Non fire to Mahama. Ye the aye, and it do on why. Now one or Sefata says I'm another mandate. And even with this prophecy, Obakaya, of First Samuel 16:1 to 13 on Samuel is also a major prophet. Yankopo catcher and say, or person replaces Saul. And Uncle Jesse, Uncle Chusu, the man about no anointing to be a king. Okoye, as a prophet, as a major prophet, Okoye, and yet David initially, and Okazo anointing. Onwa yusu ni own judgment. And they are come back as in Yankopon catch them or under the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. Eka said no. Mesha Eliab and they said there was Sephata as a king. A hona Yankopon mani was no a David, Mema dream a David, and then was Sephata said there or your king. So for to me, I used the conventions. Or the back Holy Spirit. Because you will be cried in Yankopon, no being now. No, I catch you as a Yankopon say. What I say, but it be a Yamiajimuno, a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and also your President of the Republic of Ghana. And on Hineba, I don't know any man of God. He can go into the mind of God to know how God thinks, to know God's vision for the next even 1 second. No man of God. And Obetumaka said, media, I know the thinking patterns of God. I know the decision-making style of God. No man of God. No man of God. So what did I mention? And most of the times, on say since 1992, there have been 8-year cycle of change of government.
Yeah.
Look at the trend of all the prophets that are prophesying against us. Every 8 years they change their mouth because they know that there's a likelihood of change. And no, you don't call it prophecy, a prediction. So they have studied.
That's often do not a prediction. And a prophecy
based on prevailing
the previous happenings
or the patterns, because every 8 years we are no power system. Then this year they think say there's likelihood that power might change.
Most importantly, when a near test power system, it be so says
they know the kai afa amefanshim, which abia this time around, this dispensation, Nyankopon can change the atmosphere, which of course God is going to change the atmosphere, because every 8 years now power system, we have not gotten the like of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And MPP here cry side. This is the first time a vice president is being presented for power.
Yeah.
And this is the first time a non-acan is being presented for power on our ticket. So the dynamics are not the same. And 8 years be a power system. They should ask themselves, after every 8 years, this time around, 2008 now power system under Kufuor's government, there was nothing like free SHS, a benefit over 5 million Ghanaian children. 2000 now power system, there was nothing like free SHS, a benefit over 5 million Ghanaian children. 2016, there was nothing like free SHS, a benefit over 5 million Ghanaian children. 2024, another 8 years, 5 million Ghanaian children has benefited from a policy of free SHS, free TVET. So the dynamics are not what? The same. So what I say. And Oko Matthew chapter 3, 13 verse 17. John the Baptist, or anybody, and you know boy Jesus. Emma having be a car say, Yankopon car say, we need me doba or so many. Ama John ka say ajenkwana ye twen onie. At the same time, John the Baptist ye chi no go to prison. Wan suma na suafo na anko kanche anko Jesu wo say munko busa ne say papa woni ajenkwana me bo wasu na mi hu ye na say ye twen foforo. So there are some pastors and so ene obeka kire say based on the comfort ade be chen ne ho kire ne kakra bi a was Nyankopon asesa na adwen. But unfortunately, time on Nyankopon to communicate na me no ye den. And that's why you have every right as a children of God to go back to God and argue our case before him. The reason why I sefata to be given another mandate. And another argument you know afafranto make your leader or see Antwa Bamana because or a Christ-like leader. Who is a Christ-like leader? They would di Jesus se modomia mobedi ma asemoso. Eboa. Modomia, you contribute to the advancement of the gospel. Say nipa krono. How many times no never Ghana former who say who preach the gospel of Christ? And now all support the advancement of the gospel. And then they draw about us who be Yesu say yenya day. And one thing we need to understand is say Nyankopon kan of us ye ni bibia. Yeah. Oshe Daniel was a Jew. No a Jew ni. But be a powerful politician in Babylon, current Iraq, and Persia, Iran. Iran at the time, Anka say Daniel a Jew ni on kanye ho on free ho and untine manenya den enye a governor in the province of Babylon. Ye appointing as a chief of the wise men. Ye appointing as the rulers of the captives of the Hebrews. ɔmo de saa deɛ ne yɛ dɛn
ɛto
nkyɛn. Joseph oye Jew ni. Egypt at that time they were pagan worshippers. Anameboa. Egypt for anka say Tama Joseph etimi provide a solution to them or demonstrated to them say he has the competence and the capability to solve the problems of Egypt and make Egypt a full sufficient country and a very powerful economic country at the time. Egypt for the esomo tonchen. Yeah, the tribe et tonchen. But they what have a belief at the omoto Joseph competence, integrity and capability to deliver for them. Ibusao Joseph Beye prime minister Ebua Egypt no. Wotimi sesa Egypt for nyina mo be dane Jew for ana.
No.
Fine. Daniel ekoye governor a Jew ni in the province of Iraq, Arab, and having a very powerful influence in Persian government. Iran. Wotimi sesa Babylonia, Iraq for ni Iran for nyina mo be dane Jew for ana.
No.
Okay. Queen Esther, the Dianka say Hadassah. We Jew ni, but koye queen, we Iran. Utimi sisa Iran for nyina mamo be Jew for.
No.
And Iran for ka say no Queen Esther or ye Jew ni nti utimi ye queen e we hanomana. Was that the case? Tama Yesu ye wo no, King Herod no penekuno. Srabofo kosun Joseph daye e catch on fa Mary ene akola ne nkoye de Egypt to fulfill the prophecy say out of Egypt I call my child. Egypt eye Christopher Mayana. Moses tap the time I wo no at the king at that time osi nkunkun kora ye de ne to basketing Egypt Pharaoh ba efano. So Moses was saved, trained and mentored in the royal household of Egypt. Egypt for me a Jew for me a Christopher.
That's interesting.
Do you understand? A comkesi see Jacob ne ba nyina ko Egypt. Ekope aduane. Okay? At the time Egypt for boy Jacob and his sons to survive, did they say omo Jew for until omo fi omana? And now Jacob can say no, Egypt for your pagan worshippers, so I won't go there and buy food ana.
No.
Yes. So Abraham, na Abraham, on the nephew Lot, mo be wealthy, mo be rich through where Egypt. So what King Darius Dinda?
Yeah.
He was the third emperor of Persia, Iran, or boy in the rebuilding of the temple in Jerusalem. So we know you Jew niana. Tama Solomon rebuilt the temple through timely intervention and divine direction by God. Was used the service of demons in the rebuilding of the temple. Demons only Christians ana. So that propaganda na NDC Edinam say, oh, Ghana ye Christopher man. Timamo to about my Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. No be ye president. Ghana be dane Muslim country. That is a fallacy. Because all the argument that I've raised doesn't support it. And I will show you a constitution krana. Emra ben na president bibit me jina so akase. I'm going to declare Ghana like Christian Republic of Ghana or Islamic Republic of Ghana. Ghana is a secular state because Article 1 of the 92 Constitution, the sovereignty of the country resides in the people. So until the people themselves decide, say, they will declare the country as Christian Republic or Islamic Republic or Traditional Republic, President Ben Ebitima have the audacity to say, based on my faith and convention, me changing the country into a particular religion. So constitutional wise, it doesn't even support it. So what I say. So that propaganda that the NDC are doing, it doesn't hold water. Baby or minor drone, baby or minor person code and and yes or hineba efri ha anase we free ha ana we somewhere na or somewhere
Yeah.
the finest brain, the clarity of vision and purpose, and superior policy are obetimai then are transforming this country, and that is what we are looking for. Not necessarily say we free her now say we free her. What is the mission? And there are a lot of precedents. There are a lot of precedents. Most countries, they don't look at where you are coming from. Ushe Nigeria, Muslims 52%, Christians 48%. Olusegun Obasanjo, was president for 8 years. Was he not a Christian? Gula Jonathan, was president for 4 years. Was he not a Christian? Over Ivory Coast, Muslims also, they are about 42.5%, and the Christian 39.8%. Laurent Gbagbo, who unruly the country, was he not a Christian? Henry Konan Nancy Adouye, who unruly the country, was he not a Christian in a Muslim dominant country? Over Senegal, their longest serving president. So I don't know what he did there. Leopold Sedar Senghor, who ruled the country from 1960 to 1980, 20 solid years. Oko Senegal, 97% Muslims and 2.7% Christians. So Senegal, a country made of a population of 97% Muslims and 2% Christians, Etimima elected a Christian president, Emmanuel governed them for 20 solid years. Based on his competence, based on his track record, based on his ability to deliver. In terms of say Senegal for your margins or more share religion, and also more to about based on religion. Christopher do 2.7% per and a Muslim 97%. But more the religion to change. They look at the person's humility, the integrity, the competence, and then the track record, and his conduct in public service. Till now, after 8 years, NDC has not been able to accuse Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia of any corrupt activities. So, when even your integrity assessment, John Mahama doesn't come close, nowhere near Dr. Bawumia. See, religion there, Yanfan Twaba, Oko Lebanon, Omoye 69.3% Muslims, 30.7% Christians. But Omo present ya Nancy Ofriso, Michelle on, he was a Christian. United Kingdom here, Sunak, Oye Hindu, Meboa. Oko United Kingdom, Hindus 2% per, and Christians is 46.2%. But United Kingdom, omo di so, omo colonize ye, grant our independence. They have shown us the best example. Say, baby, if we are see akwa kudu no, ye nhwese we ye some we free na we free. We share the ability and the competence, the integrity and the credibility of the person. No, and are they then would they elect a leader? They then and UK made up of 46.2% Christians. Omutimima a Hindu or belonging to a religion population of 2%. Ultimate Prime Minister, which is even far below the Muslim populations in Ghana. I know about me, boy. So clearly, let's try Ghana for. Let's try something.
It's about what is in you. What you want to do, what you've done before.
Exactly. Yen share Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na hobrasie ne conduct or the wabemu a normal wetimaye even without an authority under the 1992 constitution. Yen share a normal wetimaye yen fanto Mahama when he was a vice president and even as a president. Near making a decision. And the first requirement to qualify to contest for an election in this country is to be a citizen of the country and be of 40 years, right? So religion is not part of it, ethnicity is not part of it, tribe is not part of it. And in fact, we share your constitution krana. We share our constitution. I don't Article 17, 1, 2, 3. It clearly speaks against discrimination. Say we be discriminating a citizen of Ghana based on race, religion, tribe, ethnicity, and all that. Your constitution and chicheyemu. What did they make sure? And now offer your Bible no so a direction, which I'm a Christian. Yes, you say be at peace with all men. Love your neighbor as yourself. And you must ask yourself, say, who is your neighbor? Your neighbor, ebetima ye kremuni, ebetima ye Hindu ni, ebetima ye Buddhist ni, ebetima ye obi onokra do onyehwe ni.
Yeah.
But Jesus say, love your neighbor as well.
Don't so.
To do be there now will discriminate against him. What did they make sure? No? So clearly, that propaganda has to be spared out. And there also been allegations against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Say, Tamoka say, Oba yi levy, obe ye free or NDC force say ade na wonye nene. Or say Nyameya Adoma LGBTQ parliament are passing into law. There's a contention at the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
When given the opportunity or be signed into law, NDC force ade na wonye nene. And they talk as if, with the greatest of respect and all humility, especially their members of parliament, they talk out of ignorance. Because Oshe all acts of parliament, we are Income Tax Act 2015. 2015, Senator John Mahama president. And I'm a
Yeah.
Osha, or say the act it was passed by parliament, assented to by the president. All acts of parliament, biano, is either the president will send a bill or a private member bill, but after say you passing into law, a president then authorize it, and send it to then I enforce it. It's not the vice president of the Republic of Ghana.
Yeah.
And I will share your constitution now. We share our economic management framework under the 92 constitution. We share your fiscal policy management is directly under the president. I will work it through the Minister of Finance, not the vice president. So when you read Article 179, 1 to 6, 180, 181, 182, 183, it deals with your fiscal policy management. Kwaya you be prepare budget, you the budget be call parliament, to the cabinet, to parliament, appropriation bill, acquiring loans, disbursements of loans, expenditure and all that. It starts from Article 179 of the 1990 Constitution, 180, 181, 182, 183. It talks about our fiscal policy management framework. There's nowhere under that provision it giving any authority or power to the vice president to do anything. It's strictly under the powers and authority of the president, subject to the approval of parliament and subject to the utilization of the Minister of Finance or the implementation of the Minister of Finance. Oba parliament rule almost play in our fiscal policy management framework under the 92 Constitution. It starts from Article 174, 175, 176, 177, and 178. There's no provision in the Constitution I give you a mandate to the vice president as far as our fiscal policy management framework is concerned under our 92 Constitution. Until so being 2 minutes as a president, our constitution never empower as a president of the Republic of Ghana to manage our fiscal policy. I started from Article 179 to 183. Unless they are Amamona and Parliament, our members of Parliament are elected. They also have a role in our fiscal policy management. Also, Article 174 to 178, they also have a role there. And our monetary policy management framework. Say kwanya yesi kasem yesi di no policy rate, interest rate, and management of our city as a country directly under the supervision of the Bank of Ghana under Article 183, 184. Over the management of our inflation and socio-economic data of the country is directly under the Ghana Statistical Service, empowered by Article 185 and 186.
But one will argue that
I'll come there.
Okay.
And no share the monitoring and control of resources. Say there will be no wastage in the economy. Is share Article 187, 188. Audit service, okay, and they are empowered, and the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament, our under Article 187 and 188, they are supposed to make sure say the elements of correction, wasted of resources, being financial resources, are minimized or prevented. So clearly, which provisions in our Act, as far as our fiscal policy management is concerned, are marked Article 179 to 183. Our parliaments will rule under 174 to 178. Our monetary policy Bank of Ghana is supposed to make sure say you see the Nibejina under 183, 184 supported by Parliament. Okay, Ghana's car service will be making sure say the inflation and the socio-economic data of the country is prudently managed under Article 185, 186. Where does the Vice President comes in? He comes in as advisory person.
Where does the Vice President comes in? He comes in where there are successes, when we are good to go, and then some of us try to leverage it on say on why on abo modern on our pija aba into say ejigua enkoye sintoba or how biba. I think people are right to place it at his doorstep. Say fans anybody watch it into no enkoye so dey fan show.
Enkoya yɛn fan show. Wohwɛ your ballot paper na yɛkɔto aba na in 2016 one and another that's our ballot paper no so for MPP.
William Kufuor dan Kufuor.
Aboni din yedin be na was
Nana Kufuor.
Okay. 2020 when picture
Nana Kufuor.
Na Bawumia picture da so.
No.
The one year to abama no.
To abama na do.
This year when picture na da so for MP.
Dr. Bawumia.
Nyame ya adom ne ewi ni power then no ma koye ne nkoya ho na ese de hye no
Dr. Bawumia.
So what I say what they are saying like I was saying Oshe and Kufuor Vice President, let me even say Atamils from Atamils as a Vice President, he was very instrumental. Say Tama the VAT, passing the VAT into law and operationalizing the VAT. He was very instrumental in that aspect. Even obey President, what you might the amalgamation of all the revenue agencies to the GRA in 2009. That was his role as far as our economic framework is concerned. Ofa Aliu Mahama so ye na adwen say as an engineer, obey take it upon himself to make sure he's on the obey the discipline campaign to support the cause of President Kufuor. On the honor so do ye no. But he must say Mahama as a Vice President, a dear no timidity seed and so to support his boss. None. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as a Vice President are only any powers under the 1992 Constitution. I bought all the articles to you. I will be able to be a bit map a constitution to verify whether what we are saying is true and ain't true. And so she who said no. I have the drive for digitalization. I am an economist. I have studied the trajectory and the trends of the various economic nations. No more core many, no. A DN and more a core many. And clearly, so you'll be a researcher. In 2016, at the time Anna Mahama president told my digital economy, digitalization, the contribution to the global GDP was $11.5 trillion. But even currently, do you know the size of the entire African economy is $3.1 trillion. But in 2016 alone, digitalization, digital economy, the contribution to global GDP was $11.5 trillion. So we are economists, you have to look at how we are competitive and how we are a progressive country. No, also it may compete fairly on a global scale. Gentimi and Tonkoso and yet the same style of doing things. Though Gentimi so ain't free home completely. But you see to me here no maybe the advanced countries are doing it or in 2022. Digital economy, digitalization, only the contribution to US economy, 4.27 trillion. Yes. In 2023, the contribution of digital economy or digitalization to the economy of China was 43%.
43%.
Yes. Enti, see a China or Kobobosia. Yes, we didn't grow the size of our economy. MPP about now it was 56.16 billion, the size of our economy. And now down Kufuado, Adaroma, Yadia could drew $76.3 billion. Didn't the betima feather grow your economy, no? A man bro the current size of 76.3 billion. China now kobono obosiano. Or no, the contribution of digital economy or digitalization to the economy is 43%. US now koha kopebosiano. In 2022 alone, digitalization or digital economy to his country total GDP was 4.27 trillion. But Otia sadly, John Mama is saying said digitalization for so be any so. Adena Mahama enka economy no can digitalization. Ayara Hose, what is the difference between digitalization and economy?
Now me busa papa ko for the same question.
Uko school okay anyway.
Ni nya no no say na eni ho ntina ye ebre no. O say na eni ho no. Yentimi meet the timer the world was moving to the digital space no. And ntina magana ye ebre no.
Of course, because now a bag of cocoa ASM
3,100 Ghana cedis.
Apple phone, yes,
16 no moto say. Man say what rather than 20,000.
20,000. And to be bar office or be bar studio, Apple phone da, bag of cocoa da. The end enemy, you know, Kabefa. If you are into business. And you want to make profit, Kabefa there.
So they me to amenya se kese na mefa.
Befa Apple phone.
Yeah.
Apple phone dey there na yeah the John Mama na It's not based on technology economics. It's not based on digitalization. It's not a digital economy. Recently, Ohana Facebook etikwa, how do you feel? How do businesses or more use digital marketing? How do they feel?
Especially WhatsApp.
And WhatsApp. Yeah, now moye juma moye business. No. So WhatsApp etikwa mo business no. E so far na so far.
And your business impose like as a lifestyle.
Yeah,
you are missing something.
Ti your mama be catch us digitalization and your economy are not person watch. Na economics na kura dey. Production and distribution of resources. That's the economy. Basic definition. Production and distributing it. Say we get it to the end user. At the micro level and micro level. The micro is the individual. The macro level is a country. What you say? The economists, you know, if Bawumia is talking about digitalization, it's not the same as economy. Because so your business now we know we use social media platforms, we use digital marketing. Say your businesses no ebe konkan ebe kwenna benya sika more. Is it not the same aspect of economy? So all the various streaming platforms and offer Dr. Likey any year no more skate video skate no more show on YouTube unimska omunya a self-employment a bomo a change their lives.
Abeku Santana disagrees with you.
Oh no, I don't want to waste my time on him. What did I make sure? Because microphone and the crown or the casa no they now know video at that time and as I'm not so no cannot perceive in yet. It's not digitalization. The idea na crown nowadays any do be video on the platform a best spread, you know. So idea na condemn na ni nyansa. What did I mention? No ni nyansa. Offer Despite Media, they have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
OKFM, they have a YouTube channel. Okotna Kunso Echi program now may you be streaming live. This Facebook.com, that.com, wherever you find yourself. Yeah, the nation and it's not digitalization. No, just like their 24-hour economy, so what did they make sure? And share powerful individuals, successful individuals across the country. For Elon Musk, for instance, the net worth currently, according to Forbes, is around 300 billion, compared to the worth of Ghana, which is 76.3 billion. Which one is bigger? So Elon Musk as individual, the net worth
is wealthier than Ghana.
Yes, because they know what is he into. They know the Juma way from X, space. Tesla, SpaceX, digitalization, technology, economics. Elon Musk, use technology, economics, digitalization, digital economy. Etimia building a fortune to the level of 300 billion, which is bigger times four times than the total size of the economy of Ghana. Not John Mahmoud catch or say digitalization is not economy. No person or check. No one can no. He lacks something.
And so, if I should ask, what kind of society are we going to have? Say that Bawumia indeed ultimately train this 1 million Ghanaian youth with these digital skills. Now at least they bear 25% to Krano, monetizing it, practicalizing it.
COVID HABB. Before COVID-19, offer your private universities, your government universities now. Sebi obi ye university online krana na yem value.
Yeah.
Obi ko university krana zo me ye virtual. Online yem value. On say e be take time, but with time you have be adjustment. Psychologically, you have been programmed in such a way say krano one continue school them and school chair so am yan trainer there and point mafi and now and that either hostel or boarding or whatever one school. What did I mention? Until COVID came and Sana, our university started using online teaching and online learning platforms or virtual platforms. But before then, we were against it. And I'm a boy. Now, training of over 1 million Ghanaian youth in digital skills, I bet you may prepare more towards digitalization or digital economy. Now, what that policy seek to do, they say, you be creating billionaires out of digitalization. Now, the way you operate our economy. The last time someone was saying, then you choose top 20 or top whatever billionaires in the world that we don't see Ghanaians in there. But they have not asked themselves, when you take top 5 or even top 10 billionaires in the world, their net fortune, about 6 or 9 of them, almost source of fortune, almost source of net worth is coming from digitalization or technology economics or digital economy, whatever words you choose to describe it. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Larry Ellison, Jeff Bezos, Facebook, Onei, they are all billionaires. Musikomo is more than the total size of the Ghanaian economy. Omejuma omoye industry there no mu. Are they into manufacturing service or are they into whatever service? They are into digitalization. They are into businesses a manatee and I say a free digitalization or technology economics or digital economy. And we are going to that with that policy is going to help the Ghanaian youth to position them, one, to become very competitive globally. Secondly, it will create an opportunity for us to raise billionaires very easily because now technology drives the world. Or maybe where do you be on the technology or technology economics or digitalization or digital economy. And yet bag of cocoa or the normal orthodox or traditional businesses are what I say. And we must grow the country with a strategic mindset. The next 10-20 years, send your PC who Ghana. And now Brabono say we go through one. Esa oba etimideko
3 or 4.
The next generation has to what? Ti Oshe MPP, Nanado Danko Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for that matter. Oshe STEM education, digital economy, blue economy. And I'm quite surprised say MPP, your communicators, we are not highlighting more on blue economy. Blue economy. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia made mention of say we nya akwanya obey blue economy or ocean economy. Since Kwame Nkrumah time to now, President Benny producing Ghana Hanoma, wetima beka kire say momo makwanya na me exploit the vast ocean in this country.
Blue economy. What is it?
Blue economy. Blue economy or ocean economy how ubetima derive value or economic activities or commercial activities we're utilizing the resources what you see them. Yes. So now
I see.
Apart from oil exploration I free epunum takrade there are other and we must cover 70% of the earth. Away. Assassin it is 30%. What are 70%? Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
To share resources, ocean nima. A doors to change the assassin may know 88 years.
Yeah, good year.
Debbie. Since Kwame Nkrumah time till now, President BN ho. Najum Unum said there are some jurisdictions or there are some countries a puye yenchini or mutimi refine it and transform it into water. Normal water. Do you know the economic value of it? Do you know how such countries are benefiting from it? And according to World Economic Forum, Afibia, the potential of blue economy or ocean economy is around 3 to 6 million, 6 trillion. So 3 million billion $1 trillion ocean economy yearly. Tiapuya from Volta region to Western region. On say about 4 regions that cover the coastal belt, right? So if your government be Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia I promise it or blue economy or ocean economy, as several countries are using that economic policy or program to transform their country. Onusunya Kenya because now na da honum no. Apart from say ye papa nom ye nuanom ekopo soko yi nambre de na de bi. But there are more in the sea than a fish na go from the sea.
I see.
NDC for more policy, for more manifesto, offer fishing industry, and one say their focus is in premise fuel, which and under our government. Do you know see I started digitalization of premise fuel distribution across the country?
Yeah.
Now previous local who baby and yen papa mo kipi or more premise fuels or real crab. Then look at the modernized small fuel setups ayaya momo to give them card waiting there access premise fuel first in history across all the West African sub-region under Dr. Bawumia initiative. Timeno no o share NDC or manifesto ma apart from fishing and premise distribution they have no policy
on blue economy.
No, apart Mahama no. Kakra na da honom no. Ne die odima
paswa
ne ya ne se be na mafiri. Ne kwan be fa so ye be bua ye na ye
afarefo no.
Amoma yi na mafiri. Asa. Take NDC manifesto and take NDC or more policy proposition under Rollins and Mens Mahama. Apart from say yi and mafiri putting no adwen bie no mutrim regarding the proper and effective utilization of our sea or the ocean. And on ocean economy or blue economy, Dr. Bawumia proposed here. I think or call program being or making mention of that. It has, in fact, a critique according to World Economic Forum. A critique 260 million jobs across the countries now are making the full utilization of ocean economy or blue economy. And the various presidential candidates, Omadwene is limited to only the land. Omodwene ekusi asase na no, but Dr. Bawumia timi adwene akusi nim to see how we can what benefit enormously and realize the full potential of yesi na daona apart from say yi no ma free afanya we.
Ade na we say yamafi Ashanti pharmacy project. Say aba ye ko to ye nimre dindindin say ye ne ye ko to aba ma Dr. Bawumia ye mampani.
Ese ne pre. First of all, o share policies are Dr. Bawumia e dey ato akwema Jomama nka bi nche. And so Fubi can say on Teddy Mahama Eka, and he's right. Oshe say apart from so moka say, oh maboka over 7.6 billion Ghana cedis. Inflation added the core say 54%. Or money more than. Mama is not saying anything. 24-hour economy crano omuntimi and justify the total contribution a bit have to the GDP. What you say? So first of all, Ashanti mine, Ghana mine, the reason why yes say yetimi or minor a share Dr. Bawumia. First of all, NSA he has integrity. He has a humility. He's very competent. And he has demonstrated, say, he can unite all the factions of this country, regardless of ethnicity or religious affiliation or associations. And your man hold. Secondly, the policy proposition, digital economy, a bit more grow the size of our economy. I'm gonna compete even with the lives of individuals like Omo net worth is bigger than our GDP. Blue economy or ocean economy I want potential of generating millions of jobs. I may not say countries or we implement blue economy or ocean economy across the globe, generate over 260 million jobs. A pone da hono nyese afare fo nkoyi fish nkoa. There are several commercial activities that can be explored in the sea. Nenko yese debia no, the opportunities on the land is only what we are looking at. And in terms of management of the economy, I sincerely believe without any shade of doubt that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia stands tall. Forget about what the NDC, the noise that they are making. Almost say Yaboka 767 billion. Your debt portfolio now was 767 billion. Or about Ukra phone 767 billion at dollar rate of 16.02 Ghana cedis to a dollar. Ebema saying, I think to give you around $47.88 billion. Yanfa Mahama, at the time, all the Omani Maya, the debt portfolio was 120 billion at exchange rate of 3.95. At that time, in terms of dollar, it was around $30.38 billion. It will simple mathematics. You also need to ask yourselves, in dollar terms, you can 47 billion. In dollar terms, the dollar, our debt was 30 or 31 billion dollars. You must say the various programs are government way aye mahama ye biana. You must say debt not a cost, but what is the size of the economy? The economy a better year was $56 billion. Yeah, the core $76.37 billion. And no hene adwuma eye kese na wo kan so ye den
edos
entifane say oye papa obaya ba akopɛ ɛna otua school fees obi nso eye papa ne manom eye 5 ana 10 ɛna otua school fees ohene mumienu mo debt portfolio ɛbɛyɛ pɛ enye pɛda to share the kind of responsibilities I da Kufuado aban so da MPP aban so to make sure say you be secure near making sure the sustainability of financing of free senior high school eyisikasem and akoye say opeso create that mama na wuni sika anya bosia na abebo to do that bosia ye wo papa fo bebre awofo bebre mame fo bebre e wa ha before free SHS MI no na bi mo ko bobosia na de hwe omoba eku school ana meboa at the senior at the tertiary level Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Daroma also ba there will be a free tertiary for certain category of people so we SS now China person ko university now niska by who desire to secure your future or henenye bosia na bekwa kobo bosia. So in order to make sure say our children will still enjoy the free SH policy, you be making sure say the economy still run without any hitches. Public sector workers, employees enko come and we still employ people into the public sector now. See any scar, we still have to go and borrow to sustain that. But nyesebia ya bobosia na ya fa anyahwe. And now your Bobusiana Yentiman grow the size of the economy. The Timel grew the economy by $20.21 billion. We also boka $31 billion, right? Yeah, boka $47 billion. But what was the size of the economy at that time? It was 56. What the size of the economy? One year free SHS. And then 111 one constituency. One ambulance and Kobe. Ghana card after 8 years in a 1 year. Yes, I know my way. In terms of kilometers of road, we have 4,000 plus and 5 interchanges and overpass together. Yeah, over 12,000 kilometers of road with 6 interchanges completed. I mean, can say 10 of them have been commenced under various stages of completion. All this coming up with what? Cost. Ghana card for sure say under the term Muja for 8 years. You didn't touch it. You buy and you scan it. Allowances are chemu. You buy your trias allowances here for the last 8 years.
I don't care what no abia become.
You start increasing from 400 to 800. Jessica. So the debt portfolio no more can. One, Bosiane Yabo, but you grow the size of the economy from 56 to what? 76 billion. What is our Heneba? And I will share even NDC timer, Miles Mahama, who for a free so what a debt portfolio of $8 billion in the job. Almost 21.15 billion account. And to share now per term, on the 4 years, on the average, and the Miles Mahama on the average, 10 be almost $10.58 billion in account debt portfolio now. Some are 4 years. To share that total debt of $21 billion now, we share more on MLs averagely, or more a day over $10 billion in a current debt portfolio. Dear no mutimi free SHS, the one hospitals, or mutimi continue the sustainable payment of allowances to our teacher and nursing trainees, or mutimi my Ghana card, or mutimi data addressing system, or mutimi mobile money interoperability. Were they able to do all these things? Omutimi constructed over 12,000 kilometers of road. They couldn't do all these things. Omutimi one district, one factory. I mean, no can say over 200 plus factories are being operational across the country, owned by the Ghanaian people, empowered by the government of Akufo-Addo and MPP party. Were they able to do all these things? There are projects and achievements we can show for it. There's an evidence we can show for it. Yabo by a bet economy you grew to what? They added over $20 billion to the size of our economy. So clearly, and I'll share your crown on the average. Who struck the difference? You added 17.5 billion to the national debt. On the average is around $8 billion per term. Add the compare more there, it was over $10 billion per term. Or in the one I added. They were talking about inflation. Under MPP government, we have never recorded a yearly inflation of 54%. Even in 2022, now a normal kuye because of recover from COVID-19 and all that. Ended 2022 with inflation of 31.71%. Ended yearly inflation of 54%. MPP government has never ended a yearly inflation of 54%. And over inflation records, we are the best. From Buzia's government to Kufuor's government and Akufo-Addo's government. What the total NDC inflation track record, they are worse. Let me give you few inflation rates under Buzia government, which is part of UP tradition, which is gave birth to the New Patriotic Party. 1969, our yearly inflation rate was 7.32%. 1970 was 3.03%, and that 3.03% since the establishment of this country, that's the best inflation that we have ever received. 3.03% under Buzia's government, under UP tradition, under New Patriotic Party government. 1971 it was 9.56%. 1972 was 10.07%. Over Akufo-Addo inflation records first term under the Fourth Republic, MPP government has also produced the best inflation statistics ever compared to Miles Mahama Rawlings government. 2017 to 2020, sustaining achievement of single-digit inflation, which has never happened. Okay, OSHA 2017, 2018 was 7.81. 2019 7.14, 2020 was 9.89, and 2021 was 9.99. Compared to Mahama inflation track record, 2013 was 11.67%, 2014 was 15.49%, 2015 was 17.15%, 2016 was 17.45%. The 4 years of Mahama's government went to me and achieve a single digit inflation. Mahama 4 years.
Yeah.
In the first term, to 2 year first term, or on the first term, went to me and achieve a single digit inflation. By a first term, ye started from 12.37%, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. You have a single digit inflation track record. And even if you look at our history, Unipatia or Mama had the highest inflation in this country is NDC. 122.87% in 1983. And about 1994, at that time, Mama was part of that government. Omodi could do 59.46%. That is yearly inflation. So 54 no can, it was a monthly inflation. But year and end day, that year and ended the inflation, yearly inflation at 31.71%. But in 1944, Rawlings government that Mama was part of it, the yearly inflation was 59.46%. To a neighbor 59.46. A papa chair 50 monthly inflation of 54%. So clearly, even in those eras, there was nothing like COVID-19 or Russia-Ukraine war. But if you look at the trajectory of the inflation track record of the NDC, they don't come near MPP. So they shouldn't even use inflation as an argument, because MPP, MFA or money inflation, could do 59.46% yearly inflation. MFA could do other monthly inflation, they could do 54%, but at the end of the year, a better 31.71%. Or what you say? And 1983, NDC Moody yearly inflation equal 122.87%. And here name is NDC for need to make us Professor Milstein or more achieve a single digit inflation of 8.73% for 2011. But 8.73%, that is the best inflation rate for Professor Mills. And we're achieving it for only 1 year. Young Fantoto Nana Akufo-Addo 2018 Nana Akufo-Addo enya 7.81%. 2019 na COVID-19 in my 2019 was 7.14%, and 2020 was 9.89%. To share 2018-2019, the best inflation rate at NDC must achieve almost for 8.73%. Yeah, 7.81, 7.14. So which one is the best? And the best inflation rate Ghana has ever witnessed was under Buzia's government, 3.03%. And the worst inflation we have ever witnessed was under NDC government, 122.87% and 59.46%. So, what was the basis of Mahama argument saying the inflation could be 54%? It was a monthly thing. But before say year and economy and drop here and then at 31.71%. In terms of IMF, they are also accusing us here the Omanico IMF. And to either Ghana for a year and Kusin chain. We share our IMF relation with Ghana. You call IMF 17 times. We are aware. NDC are call IMF 10 times. 10 times. Yeah, go 2 times. To be on the Omana call IMF
10
times.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes.
10.
Yes. Now the Ghana Eco IMF 2 times. Ono no see ye yabon. Eto asum. Beba, let me show Ghanaians and Ashanti the various data on the Eco IMF so that Obin can say ye then ye 2 foot through na go many. 3rd August 1983, 27 August 1984, 15 October 1986, 6 November 1987, 9 November 1988, 30th June 1995, 3rd May 1999, 15 July 2009 under Professor Mills, which Mama was part of it, and 3rd April 2015. 10 times.
10 times.
Yeah, 9th May 2003 through HIPIC, and recently 26 September 2022 ICOI. So the management of the economy, in terms of the indicators of the economy, GDP about 256 billion with a debt portfolio of $30 billion. Yetimi outgrew the GDP to 76 billion at a debt portfolio of 47 billion. And we are yet a lot of projects that the NDC couldn't do it. And sometimes they choose words they don't even understand. MPP is a monumental failure. Yetima Shem over 5 million Ghanaian children. But now, Sabi Omunim Omujinabre Ewa Brabum, Omuni Omodachi Ewa Brabum, you secure the destiny of over 5 million Ghanaian children. You call it monumental failure. Growing the GDP from 56 to 76 billion. You call it monumental failure. Having inflation decades won't achieve that. And no monumental failure. World Party been to IMF 10 times. We have been there twice. Yeah, monumental failure. Are they really serious?
Say now who anticipated Dr. Bawumia's presidency, the government. Question people have been asking themselves say, "Oh shit, you mapa another danko kufu adwaye." Dr. Bawumia between be ye juma say.
Of course. Baby. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. You see, first of all, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Let's look at his campaign. You can't tag Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia campaign as family and friends, which NDC is used against Akufo-Addo. Bawumia busuani be na waje Bawumia campaign atana ni yase. You won't see it. So clearly, the man is going to chart a different course. And Oshen and now Danko Akufo-Addo from 2008, 2012, 2016, 2020. Digitalization, what to one another. So then the main policy drive. Utibida. It was free SHS. 1 district, 1 factory, 1 constituency, 1 bulan, planting for food and job. But all this policy put together, it can never reach the economic fortunes of digitalization. 1 district, 1 factory ain't mean raising Ghanaian businessmen to become billionaires like Elon Musk and Bill Gates and the rest. Digitalization has the potential to raise Ghanaian business people, even young guys. And one beauty about it is that when you do it well, like a guy, the largest YouTuber, is it Wadimaya or something?
Yeah.
Through only YouTube, vlogging or blogging, he has become rich. I was saying, through digitalization. That same Abranti etimi attack MPP over digitalization. That was what Abra boss is saying through digitalization, by using the service of YouTube, being a vlogger or a blogger. What did they make sure? So if you look at digitalization alone, it has a potential and is superior to any policy proposition and now Danko Akufo-Addo ekache Ghana for ba oyeye. STEM education is different from free SHS a promise here. STEM education is linked to digitalization because the bedrock of digitalization is STEM education. Because by digitalization is very successful, also training and colano in science, engineering, and applied mathematics. So we see the link to the policies. Put a structure to link it. Ufa blue economy or ocean economy, ya mekai. Uti bida ewa President Kufuor. Say President Kufuor jina platform say yenye blue economy. And now Rollins jina platform say yenye blue economy. And now Kufuor jina platform say yenye blue economy. And now Mahama jina platform say yenye blue economy. Or Mace jina platform say yenye blue economy. Or he never want to be that.
Yeah.
But Bawumia have said it. And blue economy alone, the yearly potential across the countries so we implement it is between $3 to $6 trillion and has the capacity to generate 260 million jobs for all the youth across the countries on blue economy or ocean economy.
All right.
Rollins, Kufuor, Mills, Mahama, Akufo-Addo. Shemi policy directional like blue economy has the capacity to generate over 260 million jobs. Rollins, Kufuor, Mills, Mahama, Ote Dase, they will train 1 million Ghanaian youth in digital skills. They prepare them for digitalization or digital economy or technology economies. Want to be that? Anameboa.
Yeah.
G. Levy, Nanado, Edebai. Bawumia so betwem. LGBTQ Nanado Timin sign. Bawumia se me sign. So clearly, you could see that the government of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will be more brighter, more prosperous than even his boss, than the predecessors. Because the policy propositions it has economic potential of generating trillions of dollars. It has economic potential of raising Ghanaians to become billionaires in dollar terms, not in CD terms. Ghana is in CD terms, not in dollar terms. What they call dollars can never form. Billionaire no in CD term. What they call dollar or millionaire. But with the potential of digital skills and digitalization, digital economy, technology economies, whichever name you choose to describe it, has the potential to raise successful, independent, regardless of the age, to become self-employed, contribute taxes to building the national economy, and expanding the economy. Right. Dr. Laiki, and then Nkura, Lewen, and no more, is almost skate. Abana for Majuma. Akran na for Majuma. Oma na self-employed. Are they not getting any from YouTube? Oma Brabo and Sisai. Take most of the Nigerian guys on my video skates. Almost share on YouTube. And now Krano, the various movie industry. First, Hollywood. Second, Koto CD Kotokas.
Yeah.
They say yes, on Netflix. And there. It's not digitalization, it's not technology economics. So clearly, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia governance or government will be better, superior than Akufo-Addo, than Mills. Mokra, they don't come close. What I say. So, and we are demonstrating, say, when given the opportunity, it can transform this country. And some people have also questioned about the exchange rate. And most of the times, MPP communicators always try to run away from the exchange rate. That exchange rate, Bawumia government within that 1 year can correct it. Do you know how it will correct it? It's just the review of the Foreign Exchange Act 2006 at 723. You can get a copy and read. That act, the presidency of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will make amendment to our Foreign Exchange Act, which was passed in 2006 at 723. And when that review amendment is done, it will seriously prudently manage our cedi against the major trading currencies. That's the only solution. And also, when over 1 million Ghanaian children are trained digital skills, they are making monies in foreign earnings because they will not pay them in cedis.
Yeah.
In foreign earnings,
yeah.
we get more dollars into the system
coming
to bring
in.
this. So you see, it's about addressing the structures of the economy. And how do you address the structures of the economy? It's through superior policy interventions. First, Oko Bank Akope Bosnia Eden. It's a challenge to the structure of the economy. With the Ghana card, it's easy accessing what?
Loans.
With the digital addressing system, we call in economy, we call it enabler or enhancer. Okay? It facilitates economic activities or commercial activities or business activities. But say there are various synonyms depending how you want to use it. What I say. So when Dr. Bawumia seek to do under Akufo-Addo's government was putting the structures in place. And which structures are you going to put in place? Debbie Omoka said we want to move away from Gorgeous-based economy. What is Gorgeous-based economy? And yet produce, export, and use it.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to move away from Gorgeous-based economy. What do? All the countries are moving away from Gorgeous-based economy. They did it through digitalization. They did it through technology economics. They did it through digital economy.